So the last division we have is our brokerage division. Brokerage works hand in hand with commercial specialty. You can almost kind of say they could be one division, but just really brokerage separates itself from commercial specialty in a number of ways in the business that they're looking for. It is an expanded market for your large, hard-to-place risk. With brokerage, there's over 60 markets available on top of what we have for commercial specialty when it comes to the harder-to-place large risk. And I'll explain more of what I mean in terms of the larger, harder-to-place risk and what it compares to commercial specialty. So commercial specialty is a group that has underwriting authority internally up to a certain level. Well, what happens when a risk is above that certain level? Well, we didn't want to just let that risk go away and not have an available market. That's where our brokerage kicks in. They have authority above and beyond commercial specialty for some of these harder to place commercial risk. They do not do workers' compensation in brokerage. It is solely GL, packages, property, those lines of business. You want an ease of doing business, know this: brokerage is not going to compete with admitted markets so long as they're on the business or they're quoting the business. Brokerage looks for the stuff that really is a turnoff for those preferred markets. They're being canceled, they're being non-renewed, they're not being quoted by preferred admitted carriers. That's when brokerage shines. When it comes to property, they're looking for large property, normally $2.5 million total insured value up. Condos, apartments, office buildings, shopping centers, hotels, manufactured facilities. They ride all over Florida. I could swear that we insure half the property in Florida that none of the preferred markets want. Wind coverage is available in all state and coastal counties. And property they will consider poorly constructed or protected. They'll consider your protection class 9 and 10. Builder's risk, vacant. But these are going to be larger properties that the admitted markets are shying away from, not quoting at all. We can also do aviation risk. We can do airports. Liability covers for the operations. Owned and non-owned aircraft. Aircraft repair and service. Hangar keepers. Control tower. We have markets for your aviation's risk through our brokerage. Construction. We can do some of the smaller construction through our commercial specialty group. Again, the role of brokerage is when accounts are deemed ineligible by commercial specialty, they're too large, above their underwriting authority, they are sent over to our brokerage group. Our brokerage group can handle the large structural roofing boiler, alarm or fire suppression, elevator, New York exposures, which generally are large construction exposures. Our brokerage has the ability to write those markets. Other counties to think of, Cook County at Chicago, your large metropolitan areas where sometimes these construction risks aren't favorable with preferred markets, our brokerage can help with. Blanket additional assured, waiver of subrogation on a per project aggregate. They handle environmental risk, another growing area over the last 10 years because we've been made aware of environmental risk and the need to take care of those. Mold abatement, asbestos abatement, lead abatement, soil remediation, liquid waste remediation, environmental compliance, hazardous materials. We have basically focus groups that can handle placing environmental risk. General casualty, basically your apartments, cleaning products, furniture, importers and distributors, machinery, manufacturing, shopping centers, plastic goods. We also can write large general casualty through our brokerage division. Products liability. You can see the list there of a number of different things that we can write products liability for. Electronic goods and toys, floor covering, health and beauty aids, small appliances, auto, bus, and truck parts, body armor, power tools. And going back to the general casualty, when it comes to products liability, imports and exports. Our brokerage on the large accounts can handle some of the imports as well as exports. Energy. If you're in Texas, the Midwest, throughout the Midwest, This is huge. We have markets for the oil and gas industry, drillers, pipeline, biodiesel, solar, wind. Energy risk are something our brokerage division really thrives on when it fits. And we do have markets available. Hospitality. We're talking about your large hotel, motel, restaurants, and nightclubs here. Anything that brings quite a bit of premium that's above and beyond. When I talked about workers' compensation, commercial specialty, what fits those packages there, these are going to be much larger. Mid-sized franchised hotels, destination resorts, upscale hotels, bed and breakfast. Now, another thing I'll point out here, even if not large, hunting lodges. For other reasons other than the size of the premium, hunting lodges are a tough placement. Our brokerage division can do so. We can do a number of nightclubs, family dining for restaurants and bars as well. Security and protection. One of the biggest things on this page, you can read over the information. I point out most of all because it's the most asked part of this. We can handle armed security guards, investigative detective firms through our brokerage division. So if you've got a large security risk, security guard firm, and they're armed, our brokerage division has markets available. You can see some of the other things there, like alarm systems installation, monitoring, fire suppression, safety dealers and distributors, all through our brokerage. Now, we started with property, land. We went to aviation, air. Well, the only thing left is by sea. And we do have a group, actually an individual in our company, that his focus is marine risk, ocean cargo, marina operators, boat repair, boat dealer inventory, hull, protection and indemnity, marine liabilities, excess marine liability. So if it's by land, by air, by sea, we have it covered thanks to our brokerage division. Professional liability. We discussed professional liability and commercial specialty. Large professional liability is also a part of our brokerage division. I use professional liability to kind of stress the point and differential between commercial specialty and brokerage. So our professional liability limits with our commercial specialty group are $5 million. So the liability limits can go up to $5 million on professional liability with our commercial specialty group. Well, what happens when you have a conglomerate of doctors looking to get together and they need $10 million in professional liability for medical malpractice? That's where brokerage comes into play. Much too big for the $5 million that commercial specialty can offer, but we don't want to leave that risk out there for you to try to go find a home for it. We do our best to have markets available to handle any type of risk. So that $10 million medical malpractice for a doctor, our brokerage division's glad to handle it. They're also glad to handle large accountants, architects, compliance consultants, faith-based counseling, financial advisors, lawyers, mortgage brokers, staffing agencies, real estate agents. These are going to be larger risks that they handle through our brokerage. Lastly, in our brokerage, our newest program is our real estate asset protection program. It's a comprehensive blanket coverage for private real estate investment firms or individuals. Individuals, partnerships, trust, corporation, property management firms, all acceptable. Property with wind, general liability, flood. And here's the great thing. Most of the investors, and if you know them, they have multiple properties. Each property has its own policy. Each policy has a due date on payment. Drives the individual insured or the business that's insured and their accountant crazy. With this program, we're going to fit all these properties into one bill under one policy instead of multiple policies, multiple due dates on bills. One bill, one policy. Now, with this property, there's going to be guaranteed coverage regardless of age, location, usage, or loss history. It's a monthly direct bill with online schedule reporting. Residential commercial mix is acceptable. You have the option of replacement cost or actual cash value. No short rate penalty or minimum earned. We'll do rental, occupied, even vacant, with a real estate asset protection program. Very good program. Now, one of the things our brokerage likes to point out is some of the successful accounts that they've written to kind of give you an illustration of what I just went over for the whole division. You can see anything from snow plowing contractors to security guards. GC at U.S. Tennis Center, there's a large GL liquor liability on a nightclub of $150,000. And if you also look at the states, it is spread out across the U.S. Thank you very much for your time. Without your submissions, AUI cannot be here. Without us servicing your submissions and getting you good quotes and service, which we stress highly, our service level, we can't be the success we want to be, which puts us out there for you, the agent, to be a real footprint in the business that you're looking to write. That is what's important to us, to be able to service you in a way that you grow your business and we can grow ours. We can do it mutually and together. We do like to stay connected. You can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. I highly advise, again, get to know your underwriters. Get to know your marketing representatives. Marketing representatives are going to be a key contact between you and your underwriters when need be, or to answer those questions that you need, if you're not sure who to go to. So we do make that point of contact available to you. Again, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your business, and we look forward to working with you further.